Hey, how's it going? Frank, welcome in. You were already doing the work, man. Thank you. Thank you for hitting that Core Toons command. Yeah, hey, how's it going? So we had a little bit of a thing yesterday. Janos, hey, good to see you. How have you been? Check this over here. Get my chat going over here. Because that's apparently a thing people do. Cool. Yes. I am alive. I'm okay. Yeah, so send a rescue copter. I mean, that would have been pretty epic. But I feel like perhaps some other folks could have used that a little more than us. I'm very thankful for the fact that we did okay. Yeah, so the Hurricane Milton, the eye passed probably about 30 miles to our south, the early hours of this morning, like 1 a.m. But by then it weakened pretty significantly. So we saw some good wind and a lot of rain. I didn't look at the totals. You'd think the meteorologist would have checked the totals and the observation, but no, it's just been kind of a busy day. Yeah. We just had Mickey Mouse protect this. He's like, I've got this. Oh boy. But we were lucky. We had a few leaks, which, happens. We had like one, ground fault circuit trip off. But for the most part, the lights stayed on. Not significant damage for us. We're all okay, which is like the most important part. Little bit of a rough night of sleep. Those winds were kind of roaring as it came through, but I'm not quite sure if there's an inside joke here, but I'm here for it. Oh, right, a hurricane happened. Yeah, so fun fact, this one was actually exactly 2 weeks. Milton came exactly 2 weeks after Helene. For us, Helene was not much of an issue. It headed more up to what they call the Big Bend area of Florida, the armpit, if you will. And I think, it did a lot of damage up there and on its way up through Georgia and the Carolinas. But we didn't get a whole lot from that. Some rain, a little bit of wind. Special edition googly-eyed sunglasses to all my lesser colleagues. I would just love if you had like buttons that you gave them, like, you're a lesser colleague, you're an equal colleague. This one, the Milton, it could have been much worse. It could have been a lot worse. So, as you know, it was up over Cat 5 and the Gulf, as it was crossing most of the Gulf, like past the Yucatan. It got into this like super rich environment for rapid intensification. It went from Cat 1 to Cat 5 in 24 hours. Dropped almost 100 millibars central pressure. Yeah, it was incredible seeing the thing strengthen. And, it's cool to watch when it's just out there over the water. It's kind of a fish storm and nobody's getting, hurt by it. But thankfully it moved into a much worse environment as it got really close to landfall. So it was already starting to deteriorate before it hit land. And then, of course, when it gets cut off from the warm ocean water, it starts falling apart a bit. That's a lot of words. Too bad I don't know what they mean. It would be so awful to do the buttons. I'm kind of here for it, honestly. What's a word? Yeah, it just means, the storm moved into a place where drier air started mixing into it, and also the wind shear, which is like the changing in the strength or direction of the winds as you go up in the atmosphere. is stronger. So that kind of can kind of tear the storm apart a little bit as the dry air mixes in. So it was weakening. It was down, Cat 4 most of the day yesterday before landfall, I think. And then it was Cat 3 right before landfall, I think. So if it's going to happen, I'd rather see it, do that. Granted, the size of the storm got bigger. It was tiny when it was a Cat 5. And then the wind field just expanded, but which can be bad for storm surge. But yeah, I'd rather see it weakening before it comes in. Do, didn't, do, did, don't, doest, doused, doeth, Darth, diddly. It's been, well, I've seen you pop in and say, hey, I'm gonna lurk a few times, maybe a month, maybe longer. Okay, so hear me out. One second. Oh no, where is it? I wasn't on the roof. I did go outdoors, not during the peak of the storm, but because I was using this. My trusty Kestrel 3000. This is a handheld anemometer, so I could take wind measurements. So like, let's see, I feel like got up to like 19 miles an hour there, almost 20. Yeah. Frank, are you really surprised after everything you've seen here? Are you shocked in any way, shape, or form? It's funny because what I blew in here is actually just shy of the strongest measurement I got at any point. So I did not get out into the peak of it where the winds were, 50 miles an hour plus gusting. I think I caught like a 20 mile an hour gust. And most of the measurements were in front of like the row of houses that we're in, and they were pretty sheltered. So I think I went out at 11 and got like 19 right out in front of the houses. The dad sneeze of God. I can't force the sneeze. I can pretend, but yeah. Also, I get temperature measurements too. It's got Anyway, getting distracted by meteorology things. But I might have gone out there a little bit because it's fun and interesting, and I might do a thing for Core Toons with it. But we'll see. Because I don't want to encourage kids to go out into hurricanes. That's a very bad idea. You haven't slept in ages? Janos, what's going on? Why you no sleep? There we go. Apparently I'm struggling with the height of my chair today. That's good times. I was gonna do a thing. Excuse me. Okay. A whole lot, and yet not enough, apparently. Not enough free time, yet still not enough to do. Yeah, I hear you. I don't know if you want my sleeping hours, though. I'm working on it, but they're not spectacular. You might want to trade with somebody else. You made it yourself. I know, I'm a philosophical genius. Well, yes, of course. Not spectacular is better than nothing, that's true. That is very true. Dads don't sleep. Not as much as they'd like, that's for certain. Only sleep when the kids are in their 20s. I believe that. I'm not ready to think about that time yet. Okay, there was a thing. I was doing a thing. Hold up. Oh wait, is it over?
Can you hand me the little charger?
Yes. No problem. Good night. Say good night to Ashley, folks. Okay, it wasn't there. So I talked about the Calvin and Hobbes pictures last time. And yes, I checked with Ashley. She was cool with sharing them here. And actually, they just went out with Core Toons. That was not that was 06, yeah? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So hold on. You ever just, forget what you're doing for a second? Your new favorite art streamer says she's glad I'm out. Well, thank you. Who is your new favorite art streamer? Did Rye start doing art? The lotion was not ready for your body to cease motion. Your time is not yet. I'm gonna test out that quote command one of these days. Yes. Okay. OBS, why are you fighting with me? There we go. So, hold on. I mentioned previously that Ashley and I, actually our first Halloween together, we were Calvin and Hobbes. And there is photo evidence to prove it. So this is us. She was telling her about let me try that again. You were telling her about me being a nerd about the hurricane. That's funny. We actually have one of the subroutines in our old software, meteorological software library is actually called very near that name. You were so young. Stop it. I mean, to be fair, it was 18 years ago. So yes, I was in fact younger than I am now. Facts. Let's see what else I got. I was so it's funny, but it hurts. Yeah, I think that's about it. That was it. But yeah, so fun fact, we together hand sewed that whole Hobbes costume. Clearly I just drew lines on a shirt for Calvin and threw a bunch of stuff in my hair. Let's see, I can make this bigger, right? Oh, there we go. Woo! Yeah. Yeah, that was good times. Good times indeed. But yeah, that is the picture. Just like, stop it. Just stop. I mean, I did just say that it was not even 20 years ago, so that would be much more recent than the 70s at least. Goose nails. Sorry, I was just admiring the emote. That's good times. Oh, hey, I was gonna start like a project here somewhere for art and stuff. I heard that's what we do here. It's okay, Jeff. I still live in the 90s too, but I don't live in the 90s anymore. I've come a long way. I've come a long way. It's good. You were forced to make goose nails against your will. Okay, who then forced you to do it? I'm curious. I don't know why that sounded so accusatory. I apologize. That was not intentional. Okay, so all the ladies in the Discord. You cry. I mean, it seems like you had a good time, right? Like, that's all that matters. Is it fun? Not whether you did it against your will. No, wait, that's weird. So that was kind of, yeah, so that's what I've been up to. Hurricane stuff, other stuff. They're so demanding of you. That's good though, right? Having the demand for the emotes. I mean, I was gonna do a Pokemon warm-up, but oh, that's an interesting one. Okay. Royal Goose. All right, I got Royal Goose. Cry Goose. Yeah. Puke Goose. Okay. Goose Nails, we know. Why is it? Okay. It's just taking a second to look up. Goose Shake. Goose Dedge. Goose Pat. Love Goose. Goose. I mean, these are all great. You're really filling out your emote family. That's good. Must be nice to have emotes. Just kidding. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and do warm-up. Let's go ahead and do warm-up. I wasn't sure. I'm not 100% sure how long I'm going to stream for tonight anyway. Just because, you know, sleep might be a good idea after a hurricane night of sleep. In which, you know, kids wake up as well. But might as well. I came here to do some art. I should do that. I should do some art. I'll get there in like 20 more years. Exactly. It's slow, sustainable growth. That is really what I'm all about. All right. So we will go ahead and start warm up, and I can chat while I'm doing warm up. I got some Pokemon cards here. This is what we do. Y'all know it well, so I'm just gonna randomly pick one. See what I get, and I gotta hold that for a second. So when Ashley's helping with the YouTube video, she can see it. Oh, don't hold there. Hold it where it'll focus. Finneon. Go ahead and pull a reference up. Oh goodness, tonight. Drop my reference in. Hey, maybe I should switch over to an art window. Let's do that. Oh, wait. What happens when you click in the wrong spot, but you make the sound effect anyway? That's not Fue Coco. Sadly, it is not. But that's okay. All right. I'll go ahead and put the name in, because, you know. Okay. That just helps with the labeling. Ref. It's just my ref. That's right. Okay. Sketch. Cool. So you know the drill, 5-minute timer. You're welcome to draw along. You can draw Goose pretending to be this Pokemon if you want to, or anything really. You could draw an entire comic in the time I'm just drawing thumbnails for a warm-up, because apparently you're real fast. I'm talking to you, Frank. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer and just get going with it. Yeah, all right, so I will say, you know, keep the folks of Florida in your thoughts, because there are a lot of people who are definitely very heavily affected by this, by Milton. I'm sure you've seen some of the images that have come out. Images, photos. Don't be jelly. I am not jealous of people who are, you know, of all the damage and harm that, you know, did come from this. It's one of the weird things about being a meteorologist, is like you can appreciate how cool the meteorological phenomenon is, but like at the same time you don't want people to get hurt, right? Like it's a very odd balance. You know, you'd be in like in the hallways of the meteorology building in grad school and people are like high-fiving each other as these storms get stronger, but then you got to come back to the realization that, like, you know, this is gonna hit somebody if it does. I mean, you get the fish storms that are just totally out in the Atlantic and you're in pretty good shape, but it's hard. Whoops, that's not the button I wanted to push. That's the one I wanted to push. All right, a little more football-y here. Oh, jelly of your speed. I'll just say, at the very least, I'm working on it, right? Because I think it is admirable to be able to produce quickly, and solidly. Not, you know. I think you make comics quick and well. It's a compliment, I guess. It is a compliment. I don't just guess. That was weird. I did notice that Games Done Quick is doing like a mini event this weekend to benefit. Actually, it was already planned before Milton as a benefit for people impacted by Hurricane Helene. So I think that it benefits Direct Relief is the charity. So if you're finding yourself here on Twitch this weekend and looking for something fun to watch, Games Done Quick is always great anyways. The speedrunning is incredible. Just the skill of the runners and like the fun of watching them totally break your favorite games. But also you'll have the chance to donate and help raise money for people who are really negatively impacted by storms. And that's pretty awesome. I think it's really inspiring seeing organizations and people that have a platform, a really good platform on Twitch or YouTube, and how they can actually use it to really do good in the world. Like even, I don't know if you guys watch Ryan Hall on YouTube. It's Ryan Hall, y'all, is the channel. Which, you know, great discussion of weather stuff, but then they've got, you know, the Y'all Squad where they actually raise money and send people out to distribute supplies and help out in storm impacted areas. I think it's awesome. Yeah. Well, actually, it's pretty good. This is a fairly simple Pokemon, and that's great. I'm gonna head over to pencils. I didn't do the whole spiel before. But yeah, I'm gonna do, usually I work in the sketches, pencils, inks, colors, and highlighting kind of order, which is pretty typical for a lot of art, especially when it comes to comics. My I tend to err on the side of being a little bit cleaner and more finished on each of the layers. So this is a pretty tight thumbnail. My pencils are very close to my final lines, with the exception of like I'm changing my brush. I'm using something that has a dynamic size or weight to it. So when I'm doing my inks or my final lines, I'm really paying attention to the pressure that I'm putting on the pen here to get the line quality that I'm looking for. And in a 5-minute warm up, I'm not gonna get to I'm not gonna get much past thumbnails because the timer's telling me right now I'm done. It's okay, Brendan. You give yourself solid rules to help improve your speed. So what are some of your speed rules? Like how do you help yourself with that? Just gonna sneak over here and save my file. Always save your work. It's not asleep. It is too asleep. Look, its eyes are closed. They're not. It's a line for the closed eyelid. Easy. 4 panels only. Okay. No color or shading. That helps a lot. Unless it's loosey-goosey. So this one's actually already done, by the way. I just wanted to show we finally we did some deep soul searching on fonts and also internet searching to purchase fonts and have rights to what we want to use, and we found this one that we really liked. It's called Cute Oswald, and I think this will probably be our Weatherwise font going forward. Yeah, very happy with it. All right, seeing a few, Frank. Yeah, so this one's all done. This is our origin story for our 2 main characters, Corey and Chloe. So I did have a plan. So we got this one. I've actually got another one that I'm excited to go out with Core Toons. We collaborated with another writer friend of ours to do a different comic, and that one will be going out, I think, not this week, but the next one, and I'm excited for it. But I'm not gonna show it on stream. Hey, welcome back. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna get started on the next one. I don't know. Again, I don't know how long I'm gonna go tonight, as I could probably just use the sleep. But okay, where are you? Part 2, part 1. Okay. Okay, so I think the plan is I will start on one of our next Core Toons comics tonight, and very appropriately, it's about hurricanes. This is one we actually had planned out for a while. So let's go ahead and, I should just save a template. All right. So I will. instead of just constantly having to copy from a previous one. All right, so I'll do that. Now it's on the 4-panel template. I'll turn off time-lapse recording. That'll clear out the time-lapse. Just to make sure if I do this, I still have my origin story, which is in fact a different comic. All right, and then I can just get rid of everything. Go ahead and change this to something generic. That looks good. Maybe you guys can do a comic for what to do after a hurricane. I don't. Yeah, that's another good one. Hey, I had the experience of filling up sandbags for the first time with this hurricane, and that was cool. It was amazing how, I mean, obviously it was super busy there where the county was putting out the sand and handing out the bags. But people were just, you know, really courteous, really nice, like even as everyone was prepping for the storm and kind of trying to hurry. It was really great seeing people just being good to each other, right? Like, it makes such a difference. Also, what to do after a hurricane very much depends, you know, on what your impact was. All right, so saving the template. And then I can open, now that I've got the template open, I can save it as the new comic. All right, saving it as a new Sunny Skies. Which is, if you're not familiar, that's like the younger version of our weather comics. So we have Weatherwise, which is aimed at grades 3 through 5. And then Sunny Skies is a mostly wordless, sometimes a little bit less wordless, weather literacy comic for kindergarten through 2nd grade. But yes, so we planned one on, I'm just gonna give it a kind of standing title. How do hurricanes form? It didn't hit enter there. There we go. Make it a question, maybe. First go, we can figure it out later. Consult with my writer. That'll be good. All right, and I need to start a new text box. Okay. And before I get too much further, I need to get some water. I will be right back. All right, that is better. Oh, that's exciting, Frank. Are you gonna do it? All right, so turn off the frame background and import our Actually, I can just probably paste you, can't I? So we'll chop this one up a little bit. This is the sketch that Ashley did. Let me move this up. Or I could do this. Leave this chunk up here. Actually, I should probably put all these up here anyway. Just so they're over the top. Is that outside the, oh, because it's in the, there we go. You know, we get there eventually. Eventually. Depends on she noise. When I do individual panels, usually I will, I mean, in the past, I've manually split them out. Sometimes using GIMP, the new image manipulation program. It's a free Photoshop-ish in terms of editing images program. And what's nice is that you can set up guidelines and crop an image into based on the guidelines that you set up, based on like vertical lines on the ruler. And then you can save off your individual panels, which is pretty nice. And then I'll post them, you know, obviously start with a zoom in panel one and save the final comic for the last panel. So it kind of encourages people to read through. There is, I can't remember if you're using Clip Studio or not. There is an auto action as well. What was I doing in that menu? I can't remember. Good times. Yeah, so yeah, there's a save layer selection to new. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, the Clip Studio. Yeah, if you can find that auto action, and so if you separate out your panels in their own folders, it wouldn't work well like for this comic because I just separated the border, but still my pencils and lines and colors are all on one layer. If I separated each panel out into its own set of layers for, you know, inks, colors, and all that, and then I selected that folder, I could use this to save off each one as its own individual image, which is nice. Okay. Yeah, if that's the case, I would recommend GIMP. It's free. It's open source image manipulation software, and the interface can sometimes be a little bit tricky, but if you program it all, you'll be able to pick it up. And it's just nice. I mean, specifically for that, I like it because you can do things like that. Let's try. Let's try something. Just for fun. Just a moment while I set this up. Second, I mess with it. I should probably just. Just a second. There we go. Okay. 1 second. Almost there. Okay, so yeah, if I'm here in GIMP, like I can drag out rulers. I can try to capture the panel borders, or I can try to skip the panel borders. It really doesn't matter what I want to do. It doesn't really matter what I do as long as I'm consistent with whatever I would like. Come on. So you go like that. It's been a little bit since I've done this, so let me just find where the crop, slice using guides. There it is. Image slice using guides. Yeah, so then it creates a bunch of things based on the slice intersections. And I don't care about most of these. So like, close this, close this, close this, close this. It basically creates a polygon from every intersection, right? And a lot of them are just the white space panel boundaries, stuff like that. And again, if you keep some of the boundaries, you could in theory just slice it into 4 panels and like, or 4 equal sized pieces and just save those, and you've got your panel borders, and that's all fine. But it's pretty quick to do it this way. And then, yeah, there you go. So you just got, so you know, here's the whole thing. And yeah, there's just your individual panels, and you can save those off one by one. Yeah, it's really handy. I like that one a lot. And what's nice is that because you can set the boundaries, you can either do it incrementally, if your panel sizes are not consistent. You know, say you've got one long panel and a bunch of smaller ones, you can slice them into the biggest chunks that make sense, and then re-slice each of the individual slices however you need until you've got all your panels. Yeah, it's real easy, and it's a free program, and it's pretty great. So maybe I should leave this open and save some of this work for later. I can just redo it. It's not a huge deal. Yeah, so that is... that is how I do that. Okay. All right, so I was, speaking of slicing, slicing this one a little bit. Oops. First deselect, then reselect. I always tell Ashley if she really wanted to do art, like she's good. I love the cuteness of her drawing style. Although tendonitis in the arm tends to be the bigger challenge there. But do always like her stuff. Oop. Nope. 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 There we go. fix that a little bit. Get a bionic arm. You know, someday that will be the really easy answer. Well, really easy. That's kind of... I guess really easy is quite subjective. But it will be an option. For now. For now, it's just taking it easy and not overdoing it. Okay, and then this one I can actually probably trim out. This is just basically white space. Like that. Okay. All right. So first thing first, I've just translated over Ashley's original sketches for this comic, like her thumbnails over, and I've got some ideas. I'm gonna re-thumbnail it just to get it kind of fit out into the panels, well, and add kind of my own couple of ideas I have as I'm looking at this. So I'll bring down our transparency a little bit. Just that. I always do my thumbnails in a not black color. All right. Ow. I split that up incorrectly. What am I doing? And this is actually one of these days I'll remember that I have add to selection on, and you know, there we go. This is part of this. All right, good. Now we've got it. And then this one, this can be moved and expanded a little bit. I did want to note that this is... Okay. All right, I'm trying to do too many things at once. All right, first up, I am just going to put down a little bit in my chosen sketch color so I can pick that color back up, because I'm going to change my color back to black because I'm going to add a slight bit of text to the comic title up here, and I want it to come in, you know, in the right color. Okay. This will be a 2-part comic. A saga told in 2 acts. Watch as a lowly water droplet rises to the greatest seat of power, with the ability to make the land quiver. A true drama. Good. Now that I've got my color back, all right, there we have it. Bump up the brush size. So this is actually continuing a little bit, using some of the shape or design language that one of our features for Core Toons use. If you look back at season 1, we had a feature named César Lador, who is an awesome person and a great artist, by the way. Might have been a Big Apple's one. Nope, it was this one. Yeah, so he did. I'm going somewhere with this, I swear. He did this one on the water cycle. So kind of carrying on that way of thinking about how water travels and the really cute personification of the droplets that he did. We reached out to him. It's like, hey, you know, we love this. Is it cool if we use the similar idea, a similar type of character to demonstrate for the younger group how hurricanes form? And he was like, yeah, that's cool. Go for it. Yeah, we were very much inspired by his work with that and wanted to kind of put a twist on it. And hey, wouldn't you know it, it's hurricane season and a great time to, you know, get some info out there about how hurricanes form. Geoff finding his twin. You know, I should be so lucky. Now I put my pen there. Cool, cool, cool. Straighten out some of those lines. Maybe make the star a wee bit smaller just to fit the... oh gosh, what are the emphasis lines are. Oh gosh, what do they call them? There's a name for them and I totally forgot what it was. Oh man. Oh man. Actually, I could probably give it a little bit more of a currently diving in feel by bringing this down and adding a little splash happening. Something like that, maybe. Add a sun in the background there. split that wrong too. Man! Man! What am I doing? Okay. Yep. Add to selection. Every time, man. Okay. All right, all right. Excuse me. Add a few more in there. Maybe add a little bit of. Okay. Should they have legs or not? Oh, yeah. That kind of like a motion blur situation going on there. Do it right like this. Something like that. Okay, pretty good. Don't mind me just completely zoning out for this totally chill version of Dire Dire Docks. Fun fact, the flat base of a cloud where you see, where it begins and it looks like this kind of just flat layer, it's if you were looking at a vertical sounding of temperature and humidity, you'd call that the lifting condensation level. And that's the level at which the air, basically the moisture, the air is cooled enough such that the moisture condenses out onto it and out of it onto any condensation nuclei like dust, ash, or other chemicals, and that's where the cloud starts to form. Anywhere below that, the air is not saturated enough to create the cloud base. Did you know? If you didn't, now you do. Oh, so maybe, yeah, I drew the legs on there, but maybe they were meant to be more of a, they're coming off here because they are evaporating and changing form from liquid to gas. And then up here in the cloud, they're coming up against that. I guess those would be the condensation nuclei. Or they could just be cloud droplets. Stop teaching me science. Sorry, man. Couldn't help myself. That come down there. Oh, right. I had an idea what I was going to do with that. Okay. So what are you drawing tonight, Frank? Didn't even ask yet. Slash, how many comics have you drawn while I've been working on this? That's the question. Doing reference images for Untitled Comic 3. This is the one with the, Will? Is that what we decided on the name for your character? Don't mind me, just smiling as I draw smiling characters. Yeah, Willie and Hannah, okay. The boy and the girl, gotcha. we go. Yep, still smiling as I draw the characters. Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out, is whether or not I want to maybe not draw the up arrows yet. That's fine. I don't think I need them. I was gonna do it, but I don't really need to make it quite so diagram-like, I don't think. Okay. Excuse me. So yeah, I think I'll do make it clear the sun is bright and hot. That way that'll help to show that it's heating the water, causing the water to evaporate and rise. Do that, I should probably have them more like that, like a little more swept to give it a feeling of motion. There, okay. I was debating, do I want to put like the ocean and there's some water in the ocean and be like, bye, we'll miss you. That'd be kind of fun. Maybe? Let's do this. I like this sketch well enough to duplicate it and save a copy. So then that way, if I don't like what I'm doing with this concept, I can always come back to the original. Just in case. I tend to try to make my edits as non-destructive as possible. I want to mess with the perspective if I do it this way, though. We'll see. This guy's excited. Okay, that's all pretty good. Actually, maybe we'll do kind of. Okay. Okay. Now the question is, did I remember to turn time lapse on? And of course I didn't. No, I did. Okay, better. Yeah. Oh, I should have named this. Okay. Okay. Well, it seems we kind of lost Janos. Janos, I hope you are sleeping right now and getting some rest. If you're watching this later, or if you are lurking and hear this in the background, I just realized it's been a bit since I've heard from you. So, cool. Hope you're resting, my friend. Alright, so, yeah. I think I like it with, like, the ones in the ocean waving as they kind of go up to the clouds. It's kind of fun. What I might do is actually, okay. This can probably come down and give the sun a little more real estate in panel 1. Since that's a pretty important point in the comic. Clear that. Alright. I think I'm okay. Wait, you were gonna lose it? Sorry, I have forgotten or missed something. Okay, that's right, I was gonna... Where's that? Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, that's pretty good. Pretty good for thumbnails. Figure I'll take these to Ashley. We'll talk it over and adjust anything that needs to be adjusted before I pencil and ink it. I'll probably be working on this one a little bit before we get to next week, but we'll see. Not that I don't have plenty of other projects to work on. Frank, why were you gonna lose it? I totally got lost there. Yep, yeah. Sorry, youngin. I get confused every now and then. I appreciate you keeping it G and PG in the chat, by the way. That is, don't think I don't notice, and that's awesome. Oh, when you almost forgot time lapse. I mean, to be fair, I did largely forget time lapse for this session of drawing. I mean, it's a good thing I'm streaming it and also recording it for a VOD, but yeah. I just forgot to turn it back on when I made the new file. That's going to be the challenge. That's going to be the challenge with the template. That's okay. Time to crank it up to rated F. I don't even know what that looks like in chat. I mean, I guess I could probably figure that out, but how is that even useful sometimes? I was having a thought. Nope, it's gone. That's cool. That's cool. It's gone. Sometimes, you know, you just have that moment where you're like, oh, I just had the greatest idea. Time for me to remember what that great idea was. And then it's just like, there's an empty spot there. It's like that person, that friend that walked into the place with you and then suddenly disappeared, and you turn to talk to them and there's nobody there. What was my thought? Oh my gosh. My dude. Totally lost it. Oh, I was gonna check. One thing I was gonna check. Okay. I will say, by the way, speaking of Core Toons, we did a really cool thing this last week. I was trying to find where the videos I find. It's just on the Substack, I would imagine. Okay. Okay, I was looking for something specific, but maybe you need to be signed in to see it. Where's the index of it all? Don't mind me. Yeah, so we did this video thing. Sorry, I'm totally zoning out for a second there. It's all good. It's fun times for everyone. But yeah, so we with our fellow creators for Core Toons, Sarah Giles and Ken Ralston, we did this thing where we just sat down and we recorded like a video chat we had talking about some of our like experience with comics early on and stuff like that. And Sarah went and edited it all together, and it came out with this week's Core Toons, and I was totally excited about it. It came out really well. Let's see, can I? All right, first up, I can pause you. I'm gonna try this. Just a second here. It's weird when the music cuts, huh? Okay, yeah. So why is that changing? That's weird. There we go. All right. So let's see. This came through.
Oh, you guys, as you know, I have
Oh, it's
a
4 minutes long.
comic series, Comics with Felix, starring my cat Felix. And I wanted to re-release my first comic from that series where Felix talks about how comics work so that anybody who wants to start making comics for the first time knows how to make one. So I want to know, how old were you when you made your first comic? Ashley.
I think I was 39. This was for the origins of Chloe and Corey. Chloe,
Oh!
our junior meteorologist.
What about you, Geoff?
So this is Sarah Giles. So she's one of the other Core Toons creators.
Well, I was.
This is some random dude. I don't know
7
what his
when
deal
I
is.
started
Yeah.
copying.
Weird
Mr.
background.
Garfield. I would draw a lot of Garfield. And then I was about 9 when I drew my first comic of my own creation. When I said I drew a lot of Garfield. Yeah, I got some Sonic in there as well. And then I started to get inspired by Marvel comics and stuff, so I had my own take on action stuff. Power Kids.
And so you did the words and the pictures?
I did. Now I decided that the words are too hard.
You wrote Power Kids?
Teamwork is
Holy
really
cow.
important in comics because it's a big job.
It is, and it always helps to have someone to work with and bounce ideas back and forth and come out with something even better.
Nice.
So I may have been much older when I actually did my first comic, but I've always been a fan of the Sunday comics. I remember I had an entire collection of Calvin and Hobbes I had cut out. We actually dressed up as Calvin and Hobbes our first
Halloween together.
We
hand sewed a Calvin and Hobbes costume.
I was Hobbes.
So she was Hobbes, and I just spiked up my hair.
In hot Houston, Texas, I wore fur suit head to toe.
That's an amazing story. I love it.
And I totally see Geoff as Calvin.
I know.
1,000%.
It worked out.
A couple small tweaks and he was ready. He was ready to roll.
Yeah.
Definitely fit. Yeah,
What a
so
great-
that was one of the things that we bonded over, was because I also, as a kid, would cut out all the Calvin and Hobbes, and I have 3-4 entire photo albums of just Sunday funnies clippings of Calvin and Hobbes.
So Ken, how old were you when you made your first comic?
This is Ken Ralston, by the way. He does the Galactic Hats, and he's also working on an awesome new series too.
In grade 5, I had a teacher that taught us about comics in class, so that was really cool back then, because usually you don't get that kind of thing way back when I was that small. So yeah.
Yeah, Sarah's a great editor.
And I did comics all through high school. I did a comic about a super frog that I would draw a page and I would pass it off to my friends, and sometime later in the day somebody would come up and give it back to me from a different grade. Just went through the whole school.
Oh my gosh, what a cool story. Such a coincidence, because my first comic was about a frog too. Here it is. It's kind of a mini comic. It's only got one little bubble there, but it's 2 flies trying to escape with their luggage without the frog seeing them.
That's so cute.
I love that.
Happy season 2, everybody.
Happy season 2!
Happy season 2!
Yeah, so that was the video thing. Yeah, Sarah edited it together. It was really well done. I love how she did it. It was really fun recording it too. So I think we're probably going to do more of that in the future for Core Toons stuff. Talking about what we got coming up the week and just talking a little bit about making comics for kids and creating comics, what we like about it. So I don't know, I'm excited. I thought it was really cool. But yeah. All right. I think it's probably about time for me to call it tonight. I'm realizing I'm a wee bit tired. Let them know in the in the comments. I was 25. Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to do so. I think part of the point is too, like, you're never too young or too old to start, if that's what you like to do. You know? That's my opinion. Like, I mean, yeah, I was doing little parody comics with my of my friends and everything from, what did I say, like 9 maybe? Like, it was like 4th grade or something like that. And the first time I really remember doing a comic with my friends. I would but I read like tons of Far Side and Calvin and Hobbes and Garfield and all that. And we do sometimes I do like little panels, like trying to do like movie parody things. From like movie trailers that I would see on the TV. Sometimes movies I didn't understand because they were not for kids. They're just on during like the generic, general population TV programs. I started on the caves. You ever try to distribute a cave wall? It's hard. We were at least a little bit past caves. This is what I get for teasing my dad about age when I was a kid, is it just comes right back to me now. And that's fine. But anyway, yeah, I was super excited about the video thing. It was a lot of fun to do. And I also really like our Core Toons people. They're like our Core Toons peeps, our team. It's just really fun whenever we get a chance to meet up with them. It's good times. So yeah. Anyway, all right, so I'm gonna call it here. Gonna get a little bit early start on getting things together and getting to bed tonight. But I wanted to come on, talk a little bit about the hurricane, and do a little bit of art, see how everybody's doing. So Frank, always good to see you. Always good to chat. I'll keep an eye on Instagram for your comic. Yeah, Janos, if you're here, it was good chatting with you. I hope you are getting some rest, my friend. Garlic, I saw you. Glad to have you here, always. And yeah, anybody else, if you're here, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. If you're watching the VODs on YouTube or Twitch, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm happy you're able to join me. I like doing this. It makes me happy. Wait, you did your fake job doing the Core Toons bot. Well done. Thank you. Thank you, Frank. Okay, go away. Yeah. I know. Stop yelling at me. I don't know sometimes. I didn't really know where I was going with that. Anyway, yeah. I'll be back next Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. For more art, probably more Core Toons. At some point I'm gonna come back to that Kingdom Hearts piece, because I really want to finish it. At some point I'm going to embark on possibly another Games Done Quick piece for the Awesome Games Done Quick event, which will be in January. And then yeah, I've got graphic novel work that I'm working on as well, although largely just refinishing some sample pages for our pitch packet, but that's mostly done. Very excited about that. And then maybe working on some new projects and some slice of life stuff. We have some ideas for some fun comics, just for family life, and I'd like to get back to some of those sometime too. It's been like a year since I worked on one of those. Anyway, distracted. I will see you guys next week. Have a good week. Have a good night. Thanks again for joining. Go ahead and load up my stream ending graphic because it always takes a second. And then I talk to kind of stall while I'm doing it. But then you probably all know that that's exactly what I'm doing. So yeah, thank you. Oh, look, it's loaded up. Okay. Have a great night. Thanks again. Bye, everybody.